Hello students, today we will deal with the energy flow in an ecosystem. We will discuss these points, what is the concept of energy in ecosystem, what are the components of energy flow in ecosystem, what is the ecological energetics, and this energy flow is governed by some laws and there is interconnection among the organisms, and with this we will discuss the 10% law. First of all, we will discuss the concept of energy in ecosystem. Energy is the capacity to do work. Biological activities require consumption of energy, which ultimately comes from sun. Except for the deep sea hydrothermal ecosystem, sun is only the source of energy for all ecosystem on the earth. Of the total incident solar radiation, less than 60% of it is photosynthetically active radiation. Solar energy of sun is transformed into chemical energy by the process of photosynthesis. Then it is stored in plant tissues and then transformed into mechanical and heat form of energy during the metabolic activities. What are the components of energy flow in ecosystem? The major component of energy is sun. Energy used for all the plant life processes is derived from solar radiations, and all the animals are further dependent on plants. About 34% of the sunlight reaching the Earth's atmosphere is reflected back, 10% is held by ozone layer, water vapor, and other atmospheric gases. The rest 56% reaches the Earth's surface, and out of that only 2 to 10% is used by plants and the remaining is absorbed by heat by water or ground. The producers are the major component of the ecosystem. The green plants in the ecosystem terminologically are called the producers. In a terrestrial ecosystem, major producers are herbaceous and woody plants. Likewise, primary producer is in aquatic ecosystem are various species like phytoplanktons, algae and higher plants. Then consumers, all the animals depend on plants directly or indirectly for their food need, hence they are called the consumers and also heterotrophs. Then the decomposer, these are also the component of the ecosystem. The heterotrophic organisms, mainly fungi and bacteria, which meet their energy and nutrient requirements for degrading dead organic matter or detritus, are called decomposers. They are also known as the saprophytes. Plants capture only 2 to 10% of the photosynthetically active radiation, and this small amount of energy sustains the entire living world. So it is very important to know how solar energy captured by plant flows through the different organisms of an ecosystem. You can understand this from the diagram. As there is sun from sun the radiant energy is captured by the plants, green plants, that is the producers. In their metabolism, some of the energy is used and released in the form of the heat energy. Rest of the energy is stored in the form of chemical energy and it is supplied to the consumers, where the consumers use this energy for their metabolic activities, and energy is released in the form of the heat, and some amount of energy is stored in the form of chemical energy, and either directly from the producers or from the consumers it goes to the decomposers. Decomposers use this energy in the form of metabolism. Some energy is released in the form of heat. So in this way the energy is channelized in an ecosystem. What is the ecological energetics of an ecosystem? Ecological energetics includes energy transformation which occur within the ecosystem. In ecological energetics, we consider the quantity of energy reaching an ecosystem per unit of area per unit time, and quantity of energy trapped by green plants and converted to a chemical energy. This occurs by means of the photosynthesis. The quantity and path of energy flow from green plants to organisms of different trophic level over a period of time is a known area, that is energy flow from producers to the consumers. What are the laws which govern the energy transformation in ecosystem? It can be explained by the laws of thermodynamics. Ecosystem follows the first law of thermodynamics, which states that energy may be transformed from one form to another, but it can neither be created nor be destroyed. This is also true in the case of an ecosystem. When an organism dies, its energy is not destroyed but is dissipated in the surrounding through the decomposer. Further, ecosystem is not exempt from the second law of thermodynamics, which states that processes involving energy transformation does not occur spontaneously unless there is degradation of energy from a non-random to a random form. The energy in living organisms is in non-random form, that is in the form of chemical bonds of biomolecules. But when their decomposition occurs, the non-random energy is converted to random form by the decomposers to simpler form. There is interconnection among the organisms. All the organisms in an ecosystem are connected in a very intricate manner, and the energy flow occurs through these interconnections. These interconnections can be depicted by food chains to understand the basic connection between the organisms. There are many types of food chains operating in ecosystem. Major one among them are grazing food chain and detritus food chain. A simple grazing food chain is shown in the figure. As energy from the sun, carbon dioxide and water, it is stored in the form of chemical energy in the producers. From producers, this energy goes to the primary consumers. Primary consumers are consumed by secondary consumers, and secondary consumers are consumed by the tertiary consumers, and ultimately they are consumed by the decomposers, and energy is released in an ecosystem. Again, this energy is taken by the producers. There is a 10% law in an followed by an ecosystem. This law was introduced by the Raymond Lindman. According to this law, during the transfer of energy from organic food from one trophic level to another next, only 10% of the energy from the organic matter is stored as flesh. The remaining is lost during the transfer, broken down in respiration, or lost to incomplete digestion by the higher trophic level. The 10% law gives us a basic understanding on the cycling of food chains. Furthermore, this law shows the inefficiency of energy capture at each successive level. Representation of energy flow in an ecosystem is represented in the form of the trophic levels. Organisms occupy a place in the natural surrounding or in a community according to their feeding relationship with other organisms. Based on the source of their nutrition or food, organisms occupy a specific place in the food chain that is known as their trophic level. A given organism may occupy more than one trophic level simultaneously. Organisms at each trophic level depend on those at the lower trophic level for their energy demands. Standing crops, each trophic level has a certain mass of living material at a particular time called as the standing crop. It is measured as the biomass of an organism or their number in a unit area. Then what are the pyramid of energy? Any calculations of energy content, biomass or number has to include all the organisms at that trophic level. At the base of this pyramid, there are primary producers, then primary consumers, then secondary consumers, and ultimately the tertiary consumers, and finally the decomposers. An ecosystem is a functional unit with energy flowing among its abiotic components very efficiently. Energy flow in an ecosystem is always unidirectional. Energy in an ecosystem is never destroyed, but it is converted from one form to another. Only 10% of the energy is passed to the successive trophic level. Sun is the ultimate source of energy. Plants play a vital role in converting the solar energy to the chemical energy, making the sun's energy available to the organisms at higher trophic levels. If any of the link in a food chain or food web is removed, efficient energy flow will not occur. Thank you. In the next lecture, we will discuss about the biogeochemicals in cycles in an ecosystem.